Start with welcome to our participants this evening, because this is using webinar is a really great way to learn about an opportunity that does change lives. So typically when we have an audience, there are people who would categorize themselves as dreamers, and then there's those who would relate more to the details. So our presenter tonight, John Allen, will be covering information to help all of us dream about the what ifs in life and start thinking about how they could really happen. John has many years of business ownership experience and a lot of compelling reasons as to why to use this opportunity to make life better. He's a great storyteller, has never met a stranger, and he's a great big support to our team. So let's get started. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Jennifer. All right. Well, let me get this thing. All right. I've got the control going here, right, Jeff? All right, let me get the download. All right, give that a second. Okay, now give that a second. Make sure is it still? Did it all show up for you, Jennifer and Jeff? I'm not seeing anybody. Is it loaded up there? Okay, Jeff. Hello?
It's a black screen.
Okay, we'll give it just a second here yet. It's up on my screen. We'll give it a second to get loaded up.
Yeah, for some reason there's a little delay when you there you go.
There we go. Now we're cooking with oil.
We're cooking.
All right. Yeah, I guess it took my picture off the screen, so that's okay. I don't need to see what I look like. All right. Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to this information meeting this evening, and there's just there's about 4 different questions I like to ask people. Is what is it you're doing right now for your job or whatever your future is? Why do you do it? Does it provide what you want long-term for your future? If it doesn't provide, that may be why you're looking at this information tonight, because maybe you need to come up with a different option because maybe you aren't getting where you need to be. So you're trying to, as this slide here says, you're choosing a different path for success. And I'm going to go to the next slide here. What we have today is the AVISAE Blue Ocean Opportunity. Now there's a lot of different type of industries out there. I'm in the trucking business, and I've been doing that for about 30 years. Yeah, a little over 30 years I've been in trucking now. And for me, just over Memorial Weekend, when I'm the one that does all the work. I'm the paperwork, I'm the driver, I'm the mechanic, I do it all. Well, I ended up having emergency surgery with appendicitis. And so when I'm not there, nothing gets done. And so I was fortunate to have a couple people that could cover a couple bases for me while I was recovering. Fortunately, I was only down for just a couple weeks and then back into routine again. So the AVISAE Opportunity, the Blue Ocean Opportunity, kind of gets you outside of the normal competition that you normally go through. With this, it talks about the red ocean. Everything's inside the box. We've always done it this way. We don't want to get outside the box because I don't know what I would do when I get there. So you're very limited what kind of money you can make. Now, when I'm in my truck, I know I can go out and I can drive for so many hours, so many miles, deliver so many loads, and I make so many dollars. Then I go do it again, and I do it again, and I do it again. But it doesn't keep paying me over and over and over to make a residual income. Now, at the blue ocean side, you're thinking outside of the box where there's an unlimited amount of money that you can make once you use the system that is going to help you duplicate your time. And whether you're sleeping, you're on vacation, or if you're in the hospital, in my case, the money can still continue to go, or you can make, you can make a phone call and your business can grow, whether you're able to get out of bed or not. And so there's all those kind of unlimited kind of restrictions that way that you can just go and make whatever kind of money you'd like to make. There's a guy named Robert Kiyosaki who actually lives here in Scottsdale, or may have, I'm not sure if he's still officially here, but he wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which became a multi-bestseller book. And then he later wrote Cash Flow Quadrant. As you can see in this screen here on the left side, you have the employee and the self-employed. Well, 95% of the population is on the left side of the screen. So you're either the employee, where you go and you trade your time for your money, and you next day you go back in, you trade your time for your money, and hopefully they're paying you somewhere close to the money you think you're worth. Now for me, as I'm in the lower quarter, where I'm in the self-employed, all that means is I'm a over-invested employee. Instead of just going with a box of tools to be a framer or mechanic, I've got $300,000 or whatever the value of my equipment is, my trucks and trailers and all that stuff, so I can go have a job hauling for somebody else. Now, the only difference is, as self-employed, if I don't like the way they handle their business, I can say, I'm not going to work for you anymore. I'm going to take my toys, I'm going to take my tools and go to another playground, so to speak. I will go to a different job, and so I have to keep a lot of irons and a lot of fires so that I'm always have something to go on. But I'm still stuck in that 45, 50, 60-year plan, and if I'm in the hospital, it's not paying me. On the other side, you have the business owners, which is only 5% of the population. Now, if you're over there and you're owning the business, but you're not having to be the one that does all the work, like my dad, and through the years we've talked to, well, if you're going to have trucks, it's either 1 or 10. Then later we decided it's either 1 or 100. Now, if I owned 100 trucks, or like Swift that you see running down the road, they just merged with Knight, and they own about 23,000 power units, and they have about 40,000 trailers. Well, when you own that business, you're not the one that's down there lining up all the loads. You have all your employees on the left side doing what it takes, and you just look at the bank account, and they're putting the money in your account. It's like, hey, I'm going back to Hawaii. I'm not done yet. And so once you move to the business owner side, now you have the freedom to do what you'd really like to do with your time, because everybody else is taking all the stress and the work and all that. But with what we're trying to do is we leverage our time and our money more like getting toward the investor side, even of that business owner side, because then your money is working for you. You don't have thousands of employees. I know Swift said that they have about 27,000 employees now. So that's a lot of people to be worried about. But with this type of system that we're working with, you can set this all up and set up a cash flow quadrant, or the cash flow investments, where people are just taking care of their own consumption, their own businesses, with no real overhead. And we just mentor each other and help each other through it. None of us have to have a huge investment in it. So it gives us quite a different outlook on where we can go in that 2 to 5 year plan. And we can walk away from it, and we could stay on the beach in Mexico or in Hawaii or where we want to go. Or you can just stay home and sleep for the day if you want to just sleep. You don't have to worry about punching the clock. So you have to look at, where do you want to be in the future? Everybody always talks about, oh, I could always dream about doing whatever it is. I want to go here, but okay, instead of going to Hawaii, we're going to go to, okay, we'll just drive to Flagstaff. Totally different, but hey, it's close. We can get there for just a few dollars, a little bit of time, and it's cooler in the summer, even though it's still 100 degrees up there. But it's not the ocean and the beach. So when you look at all the different things that you want for your dreams, your visions, your goals, where you want to be, like in the blue circle, you have your time, your money, your freedom, all the different things. But usually you go back to the left side and you say, well, honey, we really want to go to Hawaii, but we don't have the money, so we're going to go to Roosevelt Lake. Okay, cool. We still get to go play in the water. So if you don't have the money, you have to shrink your dreams down to the income side. But we're trying to help people expand their income, be able to achieve and accomplish whatever their goals and where they want to go in their future. So when money is no object, it's amazing what you can find that you can do that's really enjoyable. The AVISAE Opportunity is it's like a three-legged stool. As you can see in the slide here, you have the AVISAE on the one leg. That's the corporation that provides our products that are amazing.
Oh, this is John Allen's Zoom webinar.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
And so anyway, on
It's 7 o'clock.
the AVISAE leg of the stool, they provide the products that are just unlike anything out there. They've got their own patents on them. And with my situation, I'm about a month and a half ahead on recovery from my appendicitis. They gave me enough supplies for 2 months to get over my wound and all that stuff. In 12 days, I was done and off of it. And the following week, I was even done with all the bandages and stuff before they even sent me more supplies. So they even called and they says, cancel them, I don't need them. So the products are just unparalleled to anything out there. Then you go to the next leg of the stool, you have the BOSS system, which is the business owner success system. That's where we have like this slide presentation that we're using to give you the information. There's audios that you can learn from the people that are the mentors in the system that have been doing this for 30, 40 years. And, you know, individually, you know, they've got hundreds of years compiled of all the things that can teach us how to be successful in this. When I got my truck, you know, my dad says, well, you figure out this percentage for driver income and this so much for your maintenance, so much for, you know, payments, and this much you put away in the bank. Well, it was like 25%. Well, fuel went crazy, and there was a while in 08 and 09, I was putting 50% of my money right back in the fuel tank. Talked about making it really tight to make that work. So the BOSS system helps us and teaches us how to be wise with our time, with our money, and share the opportunity with other people. Now, as I make money in my trucking company, it's up to me to decide, okay, I'm making a truck payment, I'm making whatever. Well, with AVISAE and the system that we have, we also have the financial mentor and investment strategy. Now, that's a guy that he normally handles $1 million accounts, but he is willing to teach us how, once you start making a certain amount of money, how to invest it properly so we can hang on to our money and make it work for us, so we don't all of a sudden lose it and then have to start all over and say, well, where'd my money go? Because they will teach us how to be wise with our income. Now, everybody has to go to the marketplace somewhere, whether it's Walmart, Amazon, Walgreens, whatever. And I know my wife got to where they like to just go online with Walmart doing home delivery and stuff. Well, the stuff that we don't have, the kids love it. It's like, oh, just throw this in the shopping cart, and all of a sudden the car shows up in the front, and here's this box with all the stuff we ordered at Walmart. And I know some of the grocery stores are doing that as well. Well, in our marketplace, we have a house of premium brands, and with the health and wellness, the skin care, personal care, shampoo, not that I need very much of it, but it works really good. You know, my hair really, in fact, the kids just used it on the dog. The dog's hair is wonderfully soft, and it makes my head tingle with it being chilly. And the kids were wondering, I wonder if Tugger really feels all chilly and cold like it does for us. We don't know, he can't tell us, but he really seemed to be happy after he got his bath. So AVISAE is committed to reduce the costs and increase the value of the products that they provide for our system, so that you get to that little sweet spot where the VI is the value and innovation side of it. And every product has a life cycle. So if it gets to where we can't be competitive with something, they will replace it with more things that are more competitive. But they really, because they're unmatched with so many things that they've already come up with, they are committed to keep us right there in the sweet spot of where we need to be, and the products that are the latest breaking on the market, so to speak. Let's see. All right, they use all the top-notch, all the ingredients. They use organic stuff. They're gluten-free. They just have everything. I know people that they can't take, because they've had stomach issues, they can't drink like a Gatorade. They can't take a lot of these different products, but our Activate, they can drink that and it doesn't bother them all because it's very low sodium. They can even drink the Torch energy drink instead of the Red Bull and the Monster and all the other ones that just makes her whole stomach explode. But she can drink the Torch because it's low sodium and naturally sweetened instead of full of sugars. It doesn't bother her stomach. And I know my kids drink it and they don't go bouncing off the walls, but they feel really good. And so there's a variety of different products that, you know, you can get back with whoever invited you, and they can go, you know, they can send you to their website. We can check out all the products individually. But the hydration, the one that's on the left there, that one is just a little satchel, and I have it right here in my water cup. But that is to keep you hydrated so that you don't have the cramps. We've got a little girl at our church that I think she's 9 or 9.5 now. She, in her growing stages, her legs were aching all the time. So we were able to get her some samples of the stuff. And while she was using the samples, her aches and pains quit. And as soon as she ran out of samples, the aches came right back. So that's the only product they're using at this point. But for her, she does just great with it as long as she's on. In fact, she just had an appendicitis attack 2 weeks ago. So she and I have something else in common. But hers wasn't quite as severe as mine. So I just saw her yesterday, and she's making major recovery too. So anyway, there's a lot of products that you just figure out how they work for you. We have weight loss, and I won't spend any time on these people. They're not with us in our meeting tonight that I'm aware of. So but the shampoos, the skin cleansers, all the different things. I use the Refine, that getting rid of all the wrinkles around my eyes, and I can see the difference with being outside in the heat and the weather and stuff all the time. I use that at night, and I can feel its moisture even all day long. And I was never one to use makeup at all or any of that skincare like that. My wife's always like, you should try it. Well, I finally did, and it actually works. And there's just some different examples of how it's worked with other people's eyes, and it actually does that to my eyes as well. There's Lush Lips. I carry that with me everywhere I go because I was always having a chapstick in my pocket. Because I get outside, my lips are always dry. I'm always picking at the skin, because it just drives me crazy. But the Lush Lips, you put that on, it stays on. In fact, there's a group in the military up in Colorado that have figured out that this is the only stuff that will hold up to the elements up in the mountains and wherever they go for their training and their active duty and all that stuff. So it's like, hey, if it's good enough for the Green Beret or the Specialty Forces, whoever they are, it's good enough for me as a truck driver. My kids love it. They're always asking me for, hey, can I have some Lush? They love it too. And they don't have to eat their little chapsticks and stuff as well. The Outlash, well, I could try it on top of my head, but I figured out there's not enough left there to rub it on there to see if it'll help. So, but I know Jennifer, she can tell a little bit more after we're done about how the Outlash has helped her eyelashes and stuff as well. And there's some pictures of what it does. It plumps your lips and all that stuff. The Torch is the energy drink. I carry some cans in the truck with me. One day here, a couple weeks ago, I pulled up to the light, and we see all the homeless people out there. And the guy, you could just tell he was dying out there in the heat. And I handed him a can of Torch. And he looked at it, he goes, "Whoa, energy drink!" And he was slamming it. I didn't stick around at the intersection long enough to see how much energy it gave him, but he knew what energy drinks were, and he went right for it. So I haven't seen him to ask him if he liked it better than the other energy drinks. All right, whoops, go back to your one. The Boss system, as we were talking before, has all the different audios. There's different brochures and different tools that we can use that are, a lot of them you can get them in hand, but now because we've gone so digital, you can just go on, you can listen to an audio, you can watch a video on a product. Now you don't have to order catalogs and all that stuff. If you like paper catalogs to be able to hold them and look at them, you can do that. But a lot of this, you can send the information to people just by their text or by their computer. They can look at it at their leisure, whether you're sleeping or not, and they can reply back with questions or whatever, which helps your business grow, whether you're sleeping or where your phone doesn't even work. They can still be checking it out. So the system is just, they really have fine-tuned it. I've been involved with this type of an industry years ago, and back when we had cassette tapes, and we had a box full of tapes. Then of course you put the tape in the player and you get part of it, and then it eats the tape. And now you're fishing the tape out, and well, you can't, unless you splice it, you can't get the rest of the information. Being digital, nothing happens that way. You can play it over and over and over and over. And just like people watching Netflix, you rent it for the day, 2 days, you can watch it as many times as you wanna. It's there. It's never going to get snagged and hung up on you. So the system for the tools is just an amazing way to help teach our brains how to think better outside of that box, so we can be wiser in how we help other people. To the main mentor is Randy and Valerie Haugen. They've been doing this for 30, 40 years. And you can Google Randy and you'll find all kinds of videos on him. He and Valerie have taken all their years of experience and really have put this stuff into place, and they've pulled in other people that they've worked with for years, and they're all working together to make sure this stuff works properly. And when I was first taking a look at this, Steve Leathers, a friend of mine, he says, I've dragged you through all these other things because I had decided I'm not going to do this kind of an industry ever again. I'll just stick with my truck and I'll just get everything paid off, and when it's done, and then sell the stuff and quit. But when I went to see this information in a live setting, I walked in and I met a guy named Rob Terrell. I hadn't seen him for years, and he had gone through a plane crash and everything else. When I saw him, I heard his voice. I said, "You must be Rob." And he goes, "Yeah." And then I went in, there was like 30, 40 people there. Randy comes walking up to go over the information. I'm thinking, oh man, Rob's doing this, Randy's doing this. I already knew Jeff and Steve were looking to do this. I'm like, wow, this. So I looked at it 2, 3, 4 times, because you want to make sure you have the information so you don't just run out and do something and go, what did I get into? Why did I buy that $100,000 car on a $10,000 budget? So you take a look at this thing more than once, and you get to answer some questions. You can ask people, what is it? Why is it work this way? And what's the guarantee? And that's one of the things that they've really put into this, is the business that you develop here is willable, sellable, tradable down to your kids, your grandkids. You can go off and live on the beaches somewhere around the world for 10 years and not even touch your business, but the money keeps going into your account, and you come back home and your business is who knows how big, and you won't even know the people are in your business because the system will keep it going. The passive income through financial training, that's what I talked earlier about the asset advisors. They will help you figure out all the different things when you're ready for that point. And so you aren't just left to hold however much money and you have no clue what to do with it. And then the business owners, the thing that makes sure that this actually works properly is just like there's a circle of people sitting around that table. That circle is the Business Owners Association. Before this business was established, they put that into place, made up of independent business people like ourselves. And the goal should be for everybody to be on that board, because nothing can be changed from the AVISAE side, the boss side, the legacy side, because we're the protection, we're the safety net that says this is the way it has to be. And when it's not an appointed board that's just, okay, they can then take you off the board, put somebody else in there. You get elected in there, and that is there to guarantee that what we do, the money we develop, the business we establish, it will continue to be there for our kids, our grandkids, and we can do as we need to do. You've heard of all these things with, PayPal and Uber and all these different people that have limited referral incomes. You say, send somebody to Uber, you can get a discount on your first ride, but that guy keeps using the car again, the ride again, you don't get that discount over and over and over because it's very limited. But what we have is an unlimited referral income. So it makes this more of the blue ocean opportunity. And as they're showing here, it's unlimited. So the more you share and the more other people share every month, that continues to bring money back to your pocket. A little bit slow loading up here. All right, it's a simple building block kind of a thing. you take you and you get your business established, and now you can just be just a consumer. You could have your own business and consume. But usually if you're looking at this, you're wanting to make some additional income. If you want to make $500 a month or $20,000 a month, it's your choice how much you want to do. But this is a simple instructional picture here. As you would find 3 people, you'll get the $150 back on each one, and that will give you 1,000. Whoops, I went way back. Let me move back over here. How did I do that? See, you don't have to be any good. If I had a steering wheel on this, I'd probably do better. All right, we're almost there. Come on. I didn't know just where I stopped, so I can't jump back there too quick. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, back to this. So just by teaching 3 other people how to do this, you can have your business investment back. You could do that in 1 day. You can have that in 2 years. Depends on how fast you want to get your money back. Now with me, I go buy a truck for $130,000. I pay the bank for the next 5 years. And when I get it, it's worth about, when it's all paid off, it's worth about $25,000. And it's maybe a good truck, and I'll keep running it and putting money into it. But it took me 5 years to pay it all off before I really see the profit coming in. Well, this, you can go out and share this opportunity with 3 people, 6 people, 25 people, however many people you want. That money comes right back to you. But just simply by helping 3 people share the same concept with 3 people, because the more money we help other people make, the more money we make, which keeps it a stable system, because they got in it to make some money too. So if you help them succeed, then you will also succeed. So by doing that 3 and helping them do 3, that's what they call Q3. That will pay $500 a month, and just that's residual money right there every month. $500. And you can do that 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. There's no limit to how much that you can do. Now the unlimited referral part of it is as you do that same thing, you just start stepping down. I don't know, as I zoom this, I don't know if it zooms on your screen, but as you go down through the different tiers, if you helped 10 levels of people down doing that Quicksilver building block, just boom, 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 just duplicating it over and over and over. Once you know how to put the wheels on your car, you do it the same every time. So as you do that, you could get to where you're making $157,800 every month. Well, I've never made that kind of money with my truck, no matter how many hours a week I work and how many hours a month and how many miles I drive. I don't even gross. I gross that maybe in a year, but not in a month. And so even if I messed up with this, and I just have self-employment mentality, and I don't do the system quite right, if I only got 10%, well, $15,000 a month residual money, that's still an incredible income. So it allows you to be who you are, but learn as you go. Now the Quicksilver model, again, this just shows it a little bit differently. So if you want to make $1,000 a month, you go Quicksilver 1 time. The second time is $1,000 or $1,500 a month. You do it a 3rd time as you're going down the different levels here. And people that invited you here, they can go over the numbers more directly for you, answer more specific questions. But as you do that just a little bit more, you can be making $5,000 a month just by duplicating your system, plugging them into mentors, into the boss system, and consuming what they're going to consume instead of going to the Walgreens and Walmarts for shampoo and vitamins and skincare and all that stuff. You can just go ahead and teach them how to be their own best customer, and then they will be able to make $5,000 a month or 10 or whatever they want. There's no limit to what income they can make. There's different ways to start your business with a smaller amount of the products. Like say, whatever you get your business established with, whether it's $300 or $600 or $1,300, you can go out and duplicate yourself and other people and get them started, and you will get your money back very quickly. So you can have a quick return on your investment. So you aren't going, oh, well, I need to pay the electric bill. Well, you can help other people get established in their businesses very quickly and have the system so that they can succeed as well. Well, when we come back to the dreams and stuff, and there's some pictures of a lot of things people like to do. They like to travel motorhomes. Now, I've been to Paris back in the 80s when I toured with a singing group, but I haven't been back there since. It'd be nice to go sometime and take my wife and take the kids and everybody and go climb the Eiffel Tower. I've been clear to the top of the Eiffel Tower, minus about the last 30 feet where the radio towers are. And it's quite a view over Paris. So I'd like to go back and say, yeah, I remember being here back in 1984. That's been quite a while ago. So I need to get back before I don't have a memory of anything. Old age sets in or something. But anyway, there's a lot of different things that you can do with this business. So back to my first questions. Why is it you do what you're doing now? What would you do different if you could? How would you make the changes to improve your future? And when are you going to do it? Take a look at this again. Get back with whoever invited you, and they can answer questions and see what you can do. And this is obviously something that's interesting to you. So just check it out, get more information, and hope to see you be part of the team. I think there we go, back to the Blue Ocean Opportunity. So thanks for being part of the meeting tonight. Now this webinar system, sometimes I'm up on the mountain in Kingman. I just get where my phone works, and I happen to be home tonight, so it's a little easier to sit here in air conditioning without the truck running. But you can be anywhere, and you can share this opportunity, and then you can go back to work or whatever, or you can go back to sleep or go back to playing on the beach. So anyway, but thanks for being part of the evening, and any questions you have, we can take a few questions as well. We'll stop this and go back to the screen.
There we go. And
Right.
yes, and I don't know if you can. I guess you can hear me. I'm off mute. Yeah, we're going to have Steve Leathers now join us and kind of summarize, some of his thoughts about the business and about John and the team and great job, John. From your perspective, it's being a truck company owner operator. It's a little bit different world than a lot of us are used to. So I think if they knew how many times I'd call you at 2 a.m, you were up on a route, people would be shocked about the lifestyle you kind of live. But hey, we want to hear from Steve Leathers. So Steve, talk to everybody and let them know your thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, this is like a glimpse into another world. It's like, wow, if that world really existed, why weren't we told about that 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago? Because they're so different. Once you know this other world is there, then you have interesting decisions to make. For instance, do you want to keep that temporary income thing that you've got? What do they call it? A job? Do you want to keep that temporary thing going? I mean, it feels permanent, doesn't it? Because you go to work every day over and over and over again. But of course, the income is actually temporary. You don't show up tomorrow, and they don't pay you for tomorrow. Or would you rather have a permanent income that you could walk away from, and the income would still keep on going? I just think that's an incredible kind of thing to be able to do that. Does it take some extra time to do that? Of course. Is it going to take some extra effort? Of course. Nothing worth having doesn't take some extra effort. But you can do it part-time. And I find that pretty neat. It actually is a business that you can get enough going in, that you can help enough people that you can walk away from, and the income keeps going. And it allows you to be on the beach if you want to, which is what I want to. Okay. This is actually a much bigger concept than most people realize. There are a lot of people around the world that are professionals at doing this. They know how to do it. They know how to teach the skills to do it. Rob Terrell, that John mentioned. You saw the picture of Randy and Val. But they're just a little piece of the professionals from around the world. And does it take a while to learn how to do it? Sure, if you want to do it right. Oh, you can jump in and talk to 5 people and hope that one of them gets involved. But on the other hand, if you go out this in a consistent way, go after learning the skills that it takes to do this, you will be successful. You know, this is a $180 billion industry. Now that's a big industry. You know, when you compare that, the NFL is pretty big, right? I mean, you think it's pretty big. NFL did $8 billion. The entertainment industry did $18 billion. Network marketing did $180 billion. There's 100 million people around the world who are involved in some form of network marketing. But you know, it's such a well-kept secret, you wouldn't know that. You know, it's one of those secrets that people want to hide from themselves, I think, because everybody's had some kind of an idea, an introduction to it in some manner. Maybe they only listened for 5 seconds. Maybe they listened to a presentation like this, but they buried it away, thinking it's some little tiny hobby project kind of deal, but it's not. One of the things I find exciting is that anybody could do this. It's a business, but anybody could do it. I started in business when I was 14 years old, which is a long time ago. And I've owned about 20 businesses. I've had businesses where the overhead was a couple $100,000 a month. That's pretty good size overhead. Okay. I've had businesses where I had as many as 310 employees. Now, try to manage that and stay sane. You know, here it's just me that I have to manage. You know, you have to be your own boss. Now that means that you either have the best employee or you have the worst employee. But at least you haven't invested. I've had businesses I invested as much as $1 million in to get started. Hallelujah, we don't have to do that here. I've had businesses that took me years and years to get my investment back in. I've had businesses I didn't get my investment back in. Here, you literally can get your investment back in the first month. I like the fact that they're paying on Fridays. It's like, okay, it's Friday's payday. I wonder how much money they put in my bank account today. It's kind of fun. I don't even know why they put some of the money in there. I don't have to know. I know there's a number of different ways they pay us. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. They stick the money in there. I've got a picture laying here on the table of a car I'd really like to get. You know what I'm going to do? I've been leaving my money in the account, right? Because I'm going to pay for that car totally out of that account, out of money that came from this particular business, just because I want to. You know, that's right. That's the way I see it. Why not? It's a choice. Do you want to have that temporary income, or would you rather have the permanent income? I've been spending some time working at Home Depot. I needed something to do. I didn't know the other possibilities, and you know what? It's a great place to meet people. But I look at people there that are walking around like in a trance, and I wonder, are they going to be there 5 or 10 years from now? You know, if I was not careful, would I be there 5 or 10 years from now, literally have a heart attack and die on the floor there? Or can I do this and spend my time with Jeff and Judy and John and Linda and some of the other people that I've fallen in love with that are a part of the business here? You know, a bunch of us went to Cancun last December, paid for by the AVISAE Corporation. You know, they paid for the flight, they paid for the resort, they paid for all the food you could eat, all whatever you could drink. They even gave me some clothes. Now, I thought that was a pretty neat deal. You know, it's hardly ever that you get something that they're just very good to us. They're very good to us. I just love the people. This is where it's at, guys. This is truly where it's at. This is the best retirement plan. I like to tell people that I'm teaching people how to create how the words are escaping, but basically a residual income. You know, something that's just going to go on, like a pension or like Social Security, or there's some other things that people kind of know. Passive income. This is a passive income that will continue probably, I hope I'm not right, but probably past when Social Security ends, because it could fall apart. You know, this will continue. how many people do I know that are living on Social Security and living badly? I mean, really badly. Doesn't have to be that way. Doesn't have to be that way. Anyway, I just say get back with the person that brought you, that invited you to see this, because if you can see this the first time and understand it all, you're doing better than me. At least because you don't see all the innuendos, you don't see all the wonderful people, you don't see everything that's really going on there, the educational system. You don't see how much fun it is to go out and talk to people. You don't see how much fun it is to just have an idea that your life can change. That your life can change, and it can. It can. There isn't probably a thing or a dream out there that you can't have if you want it. Now, maybe not me, because I'm like 150 years old, but but most of you can. And
You look pretty
I'm
good
sure
for 150.
pretty good, yeah. Well, we do work with an anti-aging company. Right? So I'm hoping that it's reversing itself somewhere. I'm sure that it is.
Yep.
Anyway, it's fun to be on here. As you can see, we're all having a great time. So thanks for the opportunity. Thank you, Jeff, that you invited me to see this, Jeff and Judy. A little sign just came up on my screen. Your internet connection is unstable.
Uh-oh.
Well, that fits. I'm probably unstable too. So,
Even unstable people can do this business.
that's right. That's right. Even people that love ice cream and
Yeah.
have big black dogs and.
That's true.
So anyway, Jeff, it's back to you. That's all I can.
I appreciate that. That was really great, Steve. It really was. And John Allen did a great job. You and Jennifer. It's like you said, really, Steve, it's the people you get to hang out with, the people you fall in love with. And it's fun when you're out there with an army of people who are driving towards their dream. There's something special about that. Just being with a bunch of other people who have found a way to get out of that herd that's all driving like lemmings towards the cliff. At least the vast majority of them are. And we're all fighting for a dream, because when you're a dream builder and you're a purveyor of hope, and something that happens when you see somebody's eyes light up and they realize they don't have to be stuck in a 40 to 60 hour a week job for the rest of their life, and their retirement's going to be Social Security or social insecurity, as a lot of people call it, where they really aren't going to have the money or the time or the freedom to do the things they really want to do. So I'll tell you, it energizes your life to have a dream and to be building something that's real, that's headed towards that dream. So I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to open it up and take the mute off so people can ask questions for 5 or 10 minutes like we normally do. And again, I thank John Allen, Steve Leathers, and Jennifer Allen for their presentation. I thought it was marvelous. Thanks, guys.